Hi, it's Harriet. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna wait and see if anyone joins in once they get the notification that I'm live. Let me just, I guess I'll just wait and see for a minute if anyone joins in. Obviously, like all my other videos, I will post them for viewing later and for commenting. And my new thing is that if I post the videos on my YouTube channel, and it's on YouTube. So if people who are not in the group want to view one of the videos, you can. I think you can ask me for the link, or I could give you the link. I'm not sure what the name of my YouTube channel is because I have two. So one's mostly me singing, and I don't think you'd want to see me singing. Or voice lessons, actually. So there's that. Even though nobody has come into the group, I guess I'll post this now for people to see later. So I was at work all day, and, I started getting notifications about Dr. Oz's segment. To be fair, I have not seen the entire segment. I've seen two parts of the segment. This video is going to attack just one part of the segment. I'm sure once I see the video, I'll have a lot more to say once I see the whole thing. But what really upset me was that this allergist was on, and that she was talking with Bethany, and they were talking with Dr. Oz about airborne reactions. And first of all, they said they list 3 foods that it could occur with wheat flour, which is surprising because that's the one that, people don't even think about. But yeah, it can occur with wheat flour, but it can happen with airborne dairy as well, and that didn't make his list. But that's not even what I'm talking about here. What I want to address is something that I keep touching upon, and there was no conversation about it in both segments that I saw. And that is that it really matters if the person is asthmatic. And nowhere did this allergist mention that. And I really, really can't stress enough that asthma is a huge factor in airborne reactions and as well with fatal anaphylaxis. And I really, really, really can't stress that enough. And I don't feel that is becoming part of the education when we're doing this awareness about allergies. And I'm glad that there is awareness, but the awareness should be factual, and the awareness should be 100% in terms of what are factors involved. The mention of asthma was key in the case that happened in Brooklyn with that child. The child had a portable nebulizer. That Eva went and I spoke to my own doctor last week, where it seems to be the case is that asthmatics alone are not getting the message that when down and you can't breathe epi if your inhaler's not working. Neither are the people with food allergies that are getting the message that epi treats both if you're unsure whether it's an asthma attack or food allergies. And I truly, truly, truly believe that if people got the information about asthma, about how airborne reactions are something that really affect people with asthma more so than people without asthma, because the airways, by nature with asthma, the airways are already inflamed. They're already, I like to call them twitchy. They twitch, and when they're exposed to a allergen, they are super sensitive, and they're already swollen, and all you need is that trigger, and it can be any kind of trigger, and the airways can swell and constrict and get tight. And it really, really could be anything. But when you look at fatal anaphylaxis or airborne anaphylaxis, it really depends. Asthma is really a key factor. And yet again, that was not part of the conversation. That was not part of the education. It's really, really key that we start educating that asthma and anaphylaxis kind of can go hand in hand, and that when you have already super sensitive airways, those airways are going to respond faster than someone who does not have airways that are so quick to react. And it's also a key factor why it's so important to have good asthma control, because if your airways are being controlled, there's less inflammation. The less inflammation, the longer it takes to really get inflamed. But I really, really think that part of this education component for allergies, we really need to stress this asthma part. We really need to stress that airborne reactions are really not that common, but they get worse. It's more likely to happen if someone is asthmatic. So let's keep educating about that. I will be back after I see the full segment. But we really need to educate people how and what circumstances airborne reactions happen, being it powdered, steaming, and cooking, versus actually having the item in front of you in a solid state. We're talking a lot of fear, but people are not having a conversation with their providers. And I think that that's really, really important to talk about what the risks are, how to minimize the risks, what are situations that are more risky than others. So for example, I don't take my kids to Starbucks unless there's like some real reason why I have to, because my son reacted in a Starbucks, and my other son reacted in an Italian restaurant that had an open air kitchen. But these reactions were not anaphylaxis. These reactions were respiratory, and they were asthmatic. They were asthma type reactions. So let's just be very clear about that. So just keep educating about asthma. And if you want more information about asthma, let me know. And I will be back after seeing the full segment.